Okay, so first one we need to have Active Directory. Okay, okay, this is clear, right? So what is the use of Active Directory? That is a domain controller. What is the use? Why we need to have in our infrastructure?
Uh, the
Need to
Active is collection of the users group, as well they use computers, as well OU,
No,
and
that's
so
fine.
all
I'm
the
not asking what it will do. I'm asking why we need to have Active Directory in our Citrix infrastructure. Because you need to have
it
clear
store
Mhm.
understand.
user details.
Okay, okay. So why we need user details?
Because for so what for example, if any user is if a new user coming, we need to create new users. If a
No,
user want
no.
to build
Generally, I'm asking why we need to have user ID for Citrix environment.
houses.
Subrata,
Yeah,
why we need to have user details under in Citrix infra? See, without user information, you can't assign the VDA or application to the end user, right?
right.
You need to
Mm.
tell
Yes.
without user ID, we can't provide access to the end user. So we must have the Active Directory so that we can create IDs. And then for all the Citrix server should be part of the domain. So we should have domain controller. So these kind of understanding you should have. You should think in your mind what actually Active Directory will do. So if you keep think each and every component, what it will do, how it will communicate with the backend, if you keep thinking on the backend communication and then the actual server role, then only you can able to isolate any kind of issue when you are facing in your real-time situation. If you simply believe that okay, this is Active Directory, this should be in our infrastructure to build the Citrix infra. If you think like that, when you are having any issue, you can't isolate any issue. You need to think each and every server, why we need this server, what it will do. Without the server we can run our Citrix infra or not. You should think each and every components, what it will do, how it will communicate to the delivery controller, how it will communicate to the storefront, how it will communicate to the netscaler. So what is the purpose, why it's communicating with the delivery controller? So you should ask this question to me whenever I'm explaining any component. You should ask me. So what it will do without Active Directory, whether we can run the Citrix environment or not. If the Active Directory goes down, what will be the impact for the Citrix environment? You should ask this question. You should get clarified also. Suprada, it
Okay,
is
bro.
for main for you because since you are asking, you are unable to isolate where is the issue when you are in the P1 call, right?
Yeah,
You should ask more question to get clarified each and every component.
okay.
Okay, so
Yeah,
generally I'm asking if in your environment if the Active Directory goes down, so what kind of impact you guys will have? General based on your experience. I'm not expecting the exact answer, but can you give some basic related answers?
For my
They're
knowledge,
unable to see what
user unable to
assign.
log in. Actually, user unable to log in that MUID. If domain controller goes down, so user unable to log in the MUID, it's like some error like it's coming, and that's the first thing because once the domain controller down means they can't able to log in. That's the main the user can face the issue.
Okay, okay, user end, okay. But
Uh-huh.
what kind of error they might get? For example, you just forget about the VDI. Anyway, if the
Uh-huh.
complete Active Directory itself down, then your storefront URL or Netscaler URL, it won't work. Okay,
nothing
because
will work.
Uh-huh.
yeah, because nothing will work because all the machines
Yeah,
out of the
yeah.
domain, right? See, all the
Yes.
servers should be part of domain. Then only the
Mhm.
server will work. If the complete
Yeah.
domain control is
Before
uh,
be, Before credential gateway also not working like that.
Correct. Correct. Only gateway URL will work, but it won't go to the
Yeah.
storefront URL because storefront
Okay.
is part of the domain. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
Only Netscaler we kept it in the DMZ zone. Storefront and all in our internal network, the storefront server always should be connected with the domain controller. Only the gateway
Okay.
URL will be reached, but a backend server communication won't happen. Also, for example, if any user in the office, if they are using a laptop LAN or else a desktop, when they are trying to log in, the machine will throw currently the domain controller domain is not available.
Got it, but now got it, bro.
Okay, so that's why this active directory domain controller is more important for the any infra, not only for Citrix. If complete domain controller is down, then there won't be
Okay.
any operation in the infrastructure, IT infrastructure.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, again I will share a new link if it is got closed. Okay, so now you got clear, right? What is the purpose of active directory?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
bro. Now we come clear.
Okay, so next component, the second one is SQL Server. So SQL Server, under SQL Server only you can create database. So in Citrix, we need to create three database. Okay, one is site database, other
Right.
one is
Mon-
monitoring database,
Monitoring.
and
Monitoring.
then logging database.
Logging.
So
Database.
okay, I guess you guys already know, right? So how many database we have? So
Subrata's first.
Yes.
Okay.
okay, what kind of information will be stored in site database?
Site is based on that user login site. Like example, some user in login in India, some user login in US. The based
No,
on that where the
no,
user login.
no. What
Um,
information will be stored in site database?
okay.
Let me tell you.
So,
In site database, about the site information is nothing but machine catalog details, delivery group details,
okay.
published
Okay.
application detail, published desktop detail, hosting connection detail, and then zone details. So only static information will be stored under site database.
It's static. Okay.
Right? This is static information. Suprata, clear?
Yes, 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 yes.
So how
So
many?
dynamic also it will store, right?
No, no, no. That I will tell
It's
you.
that time which
No, 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 no,
connections.
no. That I will tell
No.
you.
Okay.
No. So we have total 3 dB for Citrix. One is site,
Site
and
database.
then
Monitoring. Logging.
so the dynamic information should be stored under monitoring database, which will leverage the data to the Citrix director, where you can see the current session details or user logon details, those kind of things. It's called dynamic information. Dynamic information should be visible on Citrix Studio as well, and then director.
Mm,
Okay, this is called the monitoring
Okay.
DB, where it will show the like user session details, disconnected state details, active session details. Those kind of information will be stored under monitoring database. So in site, always the static information, unless until you manually delete the information from Studio, those information will be wiped out from the DB. So it's a static, and without deleting, it
Yeah.
won't change. Correct?
Yeah.
That is called site database. It's a static information. So monitoring only, I can log in now. After 5 minutes, I can log off. So that information will be not static. So now my session will show
Dynamic.
active. Yeah, now my session will show active. If I log off, my session will show not connected. So it's a dynamic. So those information will be stored under monitoring. The monitoring database
Monitoring
mainly connected
database.
with the director, where you can see complete
Mm,
information or details about your Citrix site.
Okay.
And then logging. So what is the use of logging DB means? So as an administrator, you might make multiple changes on the studio. For example, creating the machine get log, deleting the delivery group, assigning the
Yeah.
application to the end user, removing the access for the end user. Those kind of administrative task details will be captured under logging database.
Okay.
So now you should have clear understanding about these three database. What is the purpose of site database? What is the purpose of monitoring database? What is the purpose of logging database? This is clear, right? For
So
three of you.
logging database, it store administrative
Tasks.
activities like.
Correct. Correct.
o- Okay,
Subrata.
got it.
Said that that the first one I didn't site database.
Okay.
Actually, I'm having.
So okay,
Yeah,
site
bro.
database. If you
Bro,
log
bro.
into the studio, what you can
See,
see?
bro.
Ah,
Sorry for interrupt, bro. Some emergency. I have to go, bro.
sorry.
My grandma passed away.
Okay.